Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And we are here to talk about True Detective Season 3, Episode 1, The Great War and Modern Memory. And I have a very special guest from the center of the earth, Dictor Van Doomcock. Hail, Doomcock. What's up, man?
Hail, Gary. Hail, Nerdrotic channel, and hail to all of the listeners out there. Dude, I am here on a mission of love. I love this episode of True Detective. I am thrilled about this season. I have nothing to say but good things about it. And so, Gary's channel is known for sunshine and rainbows and unicorns. And that's all I have to offer here today. Uncharacteristically, I think that True Detective is going to be one of the bright spots of 2019. What do you think?
Yes, I absolutely agree. And we got a bright spot so early, considering all the crappy television I have been covering lately. It's not, well, I mean, there's Counterpart too, of course, but This show really redeemed itself for me. I am, Doomcock and I were discussing this on Twitter in private messages about season 1 and how we both our love for season 1. Like it's a masterpiece. It is television perfection. It is the best directed series of television in the history of television, in my opinion, as far as actual shooting. And, you know, for me, season 2 kind of took a step back. I wasn't really that into it. It was still good, but it just didn't feel like season 1. Season 3 feels like True Detective. And it looks like they went back to kind of a familiar format. And before we go forward, spoiler warning. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the spoiler paddle. So if you haven't seen the episode, go ahead and see it and watch this when it becomes a video, because we will be talking about spoilers. Overall, Doomcock, how did you feel about kind of the return? I don't know exactly where to pinpoint it, but it just felt more like season 1 to me.
I tell you, Gary, I've got some real definite thoughts about this. First of all, I skipped season 2 entirely. I have not seen it. I heard that it was an incoherent mess and that it didn't really hold up. And I just don't have time to waste on that crap. So this season I watched, and I tell you what, not only do I feel that it is a return to the spirit of season 1, I'm making a prediction here. I'm making a prediction. It is absolutely linked to season 1. I believe that this is a continuation of the story. I believe that the same dark forces that were behind Carcosa and the Spiral Network are, in fact, behind this in a different form. At the end of that season, first season of True Detective, people were pissed off inexplicably. People who I thought it was ridiculous. They were saying, oh, it was this one guy that was doing all this and that, oh, you know, what the hell is that? No. He was just like a satellite of a larger network of these rich and powerful, basically cultist pedophiles, not only across the region, apparently, but over into Arkansas. And the thing that really tipped it off, Gary, is in the credits, they have Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey as producers. There is only one reason why that they could be producers in that. Well, there's two reasons. One of them is very unlikely, that they're going to go ahead and give them producer credits across the entirety of the property, regardless of whether they're in it or have any relationship to it. Or Rust is coming back along with Woody Harrelson. That's what I think. At some point, there is a definite connection between this stuff and what happened in season 1. But tonally, even if that's not true, it is 100% riveting, just in the same way, almost. I mean, there's nothing in there quite as good as Matthew McConaughey's epic, career-defining role as Rust. But I tell you what, I was absolutely, literally sitting at the edge of my couch watching this episode.
Totally agreed. I'm going to mess up his first name, so forgive me. I'll get it right one of these days, but Mahershala Ali. Okay, and I'm going to come out and say it because it needs to be said, in my opinion. Sometimes sometimes people tend to overpraise actors for virtue signal reasons. Okay, I see that a lot. Like, oh, they were so amazing just because they're not white, and it has to be said. This is not the case with Mahershala Ali. He is a genius. He was in Luke Cage. He stole the entire series. When he died, I was out. I couldn't stand it after that. I was like, honestly, he's right up there with the best villains in the MCU. And they dispatched him in 4 episodes, and I think it had something to do with shooting schedule. But like, he was acting so far and above Alfie Woodard. I mean, like, other people in that show. So this guy's like a modern Marlon Brando, is just far. I don't know. And the importance, what really made this show click at the end, and we'll get there, is his chemistry with Carmen Aego, who is eventually going to be his wife in it, because that first scene they had together, you could like feel it. It was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, the plot of this episode is it's missing children. These children go missing. Their dad lets them go out to a park. They're going to go see a friend's dog. They're supposed to be back home 5:30. Dad is fighting with mom, bit of a drinker. He's working on his car, gets too into his job, doesn't notice his kids don't come back. And we follow Detective Hayes and Roland West. And we have 3 timelines here. We have 1980, 1990, 2015. 2015 is very important to Doomcock's theory there, because I kind of agree with it. Now, I read, I don't know this for a fact, but I read somewhere that all the True Detectives, while they're standalone stories, there's supposed to be something linking them all. Either it's, child abduction or whatever it is. But I feel the same way too, especially with how the episode progressed. And them using different timelines. It really felt like season 1. The biggest difference from season 1 to season 2 was the loss of the director, and I'm blanking on his name, Kari. Sorry about that. I got to keep my phone on because my kid's in school.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So Kari
Fukujima,
yeah, who did Maniac. That guy is as amazing as Matthew McConaughey was. His directing was that guy's a future star. He will be doing movies. He will be winning many Academy Awards. He is so far above most modern directors right now. And I don't know what's keeping him down. Maybe he's just young and he hasn't paid his dues yet, but this dude needs to be directing like big features. He's that good. Season 2 really missed him. And also, this is a character study. It's not really about the mystery. In season 1, the mystery was great. It was brilliant, but it was about Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson and their partnership, and that's what it was about at the end. And that's what made it satisfying for me. And no, I always thought the end was left open, that they caught that one guy, but there was still a big bad out there. That's why I thought we'd get more of that, and maybe we are now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when people were complaining about this, I was like, people, did you watch the show? After the last bits, the last shots were like helicopter shots over the vast, delta, over the woods, over the mysteries in there, implying that, oh, dude, there is so much more of this going on out there, that they did not they thought that closed the mystery. Hell no. Hell no, they did not close the mystery. That was just a small taste of what was coming. And I have to say, at the end, yes, Rust and Woody Harrelson's relationship was the key. And I have to say that the ending, where Matthew McConaughey glimpsed the true depths of creation, was incredibly, like they said, oh, that's fun. People, that was a profound moment of cinema that was not only incredibly moving to me, but also I think actually has a glimpse of truth to it. So I can't overstate my love. I say it's perfect filmmaking, start to finish, a high water mark for television, True Detective season 1. And I'm so excited to see this season.
Me too. See, so Detective Hayes, and oh gosh, I just had his name up there. And, for one, Stephen Dorff or Steven Dorff. It's nice to see him back from, of course, Blade. as Roland West, right? I love their little buddy moments when they
Yeah.
were shooting the rats, and then he doesn't shoot the fox.
Yeah.
And we really within, and this is brilliant writing, folks. I know sometimes we forget about it because we're watching Star Trek Discovery or Doctor Who, but you see within 5 or 10 minutes you could know two characters completely.
Yeah.
And we find out that Detective Hayes is like some badass tracker from Nam, and he's got a little bit of, or a lot of PTSD going. They really laid out the case for you in the first episode. They showed the kids taking off. They made a point to show every single witness. They showed a dune buggy with a Native American on it that sounded like, first they showed firecrackers, and then they showed this popping engine that sounded like firecrackers at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So they showed all the variables too. And the kids go to a park, and then they're gone. And then we get a West Tennessee 3 reference. We got three or four kids in a like a purple VW with a black one of them with a Black Sabbath shirt, and they're all smoking weed and drinking in the car, and they see the kids ride by.
Paradise Lost.
Yes.
Paradise Lost. Exactly. I said, oh my God, the minute I saw that one guy, I'm like, Paradise Lost. This is what the inspiration is for this.
Absolutely. So the three timelines are, we see that, 1980 is when the case happened. And then there's an interview in 1990 with two lawyers, and they're reopening the case. Some family is reopening the case because there is somebody in jail for this, but they're wrongly convicted. We don't find out in the first episode. And by the way, we're just talking about the first episode. We don't find out who it is. And then there's 2015 with Detective Hayes as an old man. He has memory problems. Now it's not senility, it's something else. So
probably dementia, Alzheimer's, perhaps.
Yeah, well, maybe it is. But he started getting them in his 40s because they referred to it in 1990. So he has to record stuff for himself to remind him.
Right.
And we find out it's getting rehashed again in 2015. He's being interviewed for a documentary. We see his son there. His wife in 2015 is dead. We see one of my favorite scenes in this is while they're investigating. So the case gets investigated. Eventually, the cops get called, and Hayes and West were on their way to a bar or something, and they almost got through the night without being called in. But they get called in, and they find out what's going on. They see that the mom and dad had broken up, or not broke. Yeah, they're broken up, but they're still living together. And mom's kind of mom's an alcoholic, and dad's kind of an asshole. They have shitty parents. At least it wasn't just a bad dad. It was a bad dad and a bad mom. So at least it was equal on that one. And so horrible parents. They're fighting over, their kids are missing, and they're still fighting. And this starts hitting Hayes like in his soul. He starts getting really worried. At first they thought it was just the mom who took the kids, but of course she shows up drunk, and then something more and Hayes just senses something else is going on. At first, West wants to dismiss the case completely, but then they get serious. They send out search parties. They can't find the kid. One of my favorite scenes, sorry, it took me so long to get there, was they go to the school to investigate one of the three. They're looking at all the witnesses and the West Tennessee 3 analogy in this. They go to one of the kids and they see his teacher, and that's where Hayes meets his wife for the first time. And there's just this scene where he like sees her for the first time, and his eyes get wide, and it was such a cool scene. Mrs. Nerdrotic loved that scene. That was her favorite. And they immediately have this chemistry that you can't, they don't put enough time into chemistry between actors. And this really worked for me. So, that was a cool scene. But then we eventually get through the investigation, and they start the tracking. And we see Hayes tracking through the forest. And this scene was unbelievable. Doomcock. Yeah. You could feel the tension. You know what was going to happen, and it didn't matter. That's good writing, good acting. He was going to find the kid. He goes through the forest, and he sees these dolls, and they're like bridal dolls. And it's like they're marking it so you can find the body.
Yes.
And he goes into a cave. He starts freaking out, and it's from his PTSD. He had to do some work. He mentions he had to do some work at Nam in caves, and he almost couldn't get in. And they find the boy, and he's laying back with his fingers like this. And and it's like he had a head trauma, but it's like they gave him a gentle funeral, and it was sick, and you can see how it hit him. He calls it in, but they can't find the girl. The girl is gone. One of the better things in this is the time jumping. Time jumping can get really confusing. It's not confusing in this episode at all. It's really well done, and they'll transition through scenes in the past. He'll like look up and say, "I'm done now," and then he'll be from 1980. He'll be in his interview going, "I'm done now," and it's like he's talking to himself, which is really cool. So the episode ends with in the 1990 interview. He's like, "Why are you here? I mean, we've gone over this, and it's clearly upsetting him." When they went and searched the Native American too, did you catch that they mentioned, we know what happened to him? I was kind of thinking they would find a dead body in there, but they didn't. But it sounds like eventually he will be. I don't know if you caught that or not.
Oh yeah, there's something happens. You know the rest.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah, something happens with that.
So he's rehashing this twice now in the same episode. He's rehashing it in the 1990 interview and in the 2015 interview. In the 1990 interview, he's like, "Enough. Unless you're going to tell me what the hell's going on, I'm out of here." So they tell her that they got, and this is something Nerdrotic, Mrs. Nerdrotic had a problem with, but you have you can solve this problem because I can't. So they got a ping on some fingerprints, and they found the girl alive. She had broken into a Walgreens in 1990 and stole some drugs, and they ran the fingerprints, and it matched the girl who's been missing for, at this time, like 11 years. Right. That's how it ends. He's like, "She's alive." And Mrs. Nerdrotic rightly pointed out to me, like, how would they get fingerprints? Like, did they fingerprint her as a baby, or like, how did they get fingerprints?
Well, here's the thing. When you are on an investigation, you are going to need prints of the kids in order to then go into certain areas like the cave, like that elevated tower above the space, and also in the house. You've got to go ahead. They did this on the John Benet Ramsey thing. They needed to print everyone, then to dust for any prints that did not belong, you see. So they're going to have the prints of the kids lifted off of her hairbrush, off of, wherever they can get some clean, full prints, to put them in the database to try and isolate any intruders, or to place her at a place. Okay, we know she went to this tower. Oh, she was in the cave when her brother was laid down dead. Things like that. It's very important to any investigation of homicide or missing people to do that.
That's why we have Doomcock here, folks. That's why we have here. Now let's get to the chat. Again, this isn't going to be super long, but we're going to get to the chat. And I also want to mention that Firewatch, that tower. That's my mom used to do that in Grand Canyon. She used to hang out in those things for hours.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Look at all these wonderful people in the chat. We have Mary Ashmead, Stephanie Littlepage, Jess Reed. Dude, Jess Reed, how are you, buddy?
Yes, brother.
Thinking about you, man. Thinking about you. Peter Quinn is here. Tekka Man Blade. I know it says ball, but I say blade. I don't know. It sounds better.
Okay.
I don't know. Man of action, man. My old friend, Man of Action. We got some super chat. Dude, it's Just Plain Joe. Let me tell you, it's Just Plain Joe is the man. Straight up the man, Doomcock. This is a good dude. He's given me so many Doctor Who articles. He's responsible. Hey, awesome. If anybody's complaining, it's his fault. No, about the videos. Just kidding, man. There we go. Hey, G, the consolidated rating for Doctor Who New Year's Eve special are out. Those should be interesting. I've got a video dropping tonight or tomorrow that should trigger quite a few people. Feisty Fan is here. What's up, Feisty? Mary Ashby, of course, Halam 899. Alex Brown, what? There's good writing? I'm here, says Alex Brown. Yes, this is genuine good television writing. This is yes, believe it or not, this is genuine good television that I'm going to cover every episode. This was originally just a premiere, and I was going to check out to see if I was going to I am definitely covering every episode of this, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Feisty Fan 499. Oh, hi people, it's good to finally make a live chat. Hi Gary, hail Doomcock, congrats on 30K. Thank you, Feisty Fan. It's good to see you, my dear friend. who she works in a comic shop in an undisclosed location. Gamer Gambit, great to be back. See you live. Been watching post, and it's not fun as live, but still enjoy each video. Keep rocking. Thanks, Gamer Gambit. Yeah, we like doing it. We'll do it live. Brett Newman, hail Gary. Congrats on 30K. Before too long, you replace Pete's with champagne. Hail, my lord. Hail the chat. Hail wrenches. Bloody hell. It's hailing like mad here. Yes, thank you, Brett Newman. It is good to see you. I don't know if you can see the chat, Doomcock. Did you want to pick anything, or if you can't, that's cool. I can pick something.
I haven't actually seen it. I don't know where.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, real quick before we get back to the chat, I want to know what was your favorite scene in this? What drew you in, or was it just the brilliant acting, or I don't know. What drew you back into this?
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the brilliant Scoot McNeary. He plays the dad. He was also the computer programmer in *Halt and Catch Fire*, which is absolutely fantastic show. He's got a great range in that he's playing a yuppie programmer. In this, he's playing a kind of a redneck, kind of a drunken dad. And actually in Narcos Mexico next season, he's going to be an assassin down in Mexico, popping narcos for the government. So Scoot is I'm so glad to see his career taking off. I mean, he is a fantastic actor. Best favorite scene, God, there's so many great ones in there. I loved it when they were sitting in the junkyard shooting at the rats. I think that gave so much, told us about their relationship. The fact that he doesn't shoot the fox says a lot about him. And also he's one of us, he likes, what is it? He said Silver Surfer and Batman.
Yes.
No, he says that later. I saw the second episode, excuse me. But he also loves Star Wars. So this guy is one of us. Just a spoiler there.
Yes. No, they talked about something later. Of course they talked about Steve McQueen dying.
Yeah.
I remember that day as clear as like right now. I was 10 at the time when he died. Wow. I remember he had gone to Mexico to get his cancer treatment, and it didn't work out. Yeah, no, it's that and Elvis's death are just vivid memories when I was a kid. When they were shooting the rats, I loved at the end. Okay, he stops him from shooting the fox, and I'm like, is this going to be like an Odd Couple thing? But then there's something they say at the end. I don't know why I liked it so much, but Stephen Dorff, let's go out and look around. Maybe we can find somebody's ass to kick. I'm paraphrasing. And then, Hayes' character says, that'd be nice. And I'm like, so they're not that different.
They're just, I love it that they're just farting around in the junkyard. And they look annoyed when the call comes in.
Yep. No, and what he's doing is in 1990 interview, he's all, okay, go over the case again. What were you guys doing? Well, we were investigating and working really hard, and then we go to that scene, and they're freaking drinking beer, and then when they get to the scene, again, attention to detail. When they get to the scene with the parents and stuff, they remember like to take get some gum out, and they throw some gum in because they'd just been drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
good details.
Great details, not like holding a phaser backwards or anything like that. That's good. We like to point out the good. Yes. Hail Exozone. Please check out our Exozone from last night. It's on Doomcock's channel. I will link it in the description when this turns into a video. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And we did get cut off, and we are going to go ahead and record maybe a 30-40 minute video just addressing all the rest of the super chats that got cut off, and we will post that for you guys. So sorry about that. Apparently you went out at the same time I did.
Yes, we both got knocked off. I've never seen that before.
That is weird. That is so weird.
Because I thought it was me. When I went back, I'm like, well, I got knocked off and it was you. So I was like, weird. Yeah. Because usually one of us stays up. So yes, conspiracy. I'm going to say conspiracy.
Yep.
It's the Illuminati, man. Which, that kind of plays into this. I wonder if we're going to get like it was the Yellow King, right? The Yellow King from
the King in Yellow.
The King in Yellow. Yes.
By Chalmers, I believe, where Carcosa. That's I love that show so much. I went and tracked that down and read it, and it was awesome.
Oh, you
really
did?
Awesome stuff.
I looked it up. I looked it up on Wikipedia.
It's worth reading, dude. It's good stuff.
Oh man. I kind of liked that the stream ended and I got oh, is that where it ended on, Kato? That I my little story on getting Doomcock to 1000 and because I created 2 Gmails, but yeah, definitely subscribe to Dictor Van Doomcock's channel. He really I know, and I'll speak for you. He appreciates all the subs he has, but he really should have more, folks. Like honestly, like it's a brilliant channel. I've highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. You can even find it on my channel where it says Friends of Nerdrotic. He's the first one on there.
Oh, so, thank you, man.
You're welcome, pal. Yeah, so let's read a couple more chats before we go. I am doing a full Nerdrotic Nooner today. There's a lot of crazy news, so I cannot wait to get to it. Attack of the Disney Moonbots, says Rollercat. Thank you for the £2. Vixen of Vavavoom. Hey.
Yes.
Hey. So how was the alien abduction last night? It went quite well. I think they actually remembered their lube this time, Vixen. But
yeah. I was romanced. There were some candles I remember, and a table, and a flower in a vase, and a probe.
I think they were playing some Marvin Gaye too.
I'll tell you what, dang old man, what's going on, man? I'll tell you what's going on. I've been over the table. We're going dang old woo. So, boy, dang old.
It really hurts. By the way, Tamarocks, I think I missed your, okay. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. $20 from the great Tamarocks, fellow Legionnaire, a good friend. And hang on, I got to buy some time here because I think I missed a super chat or two. That's bad. We will not be doing that today. I ain't going anywhere till we address all that stuff. Okay. Tamarocks, first super chat was just a thumbs up, $20. If you got a question, Tamarocks, thumbs up to you, buddy. Thumbs up to you. It's because of you guys. You are, that's why Doomcock is successful. And that's why we have fun here, because you guys are part of the show. You're the co-hosts. I don't know if Thomas Potts, 199. Did you ever watch Falling Skies? I watched the beginning of it, and it wasn't that it was bad, Thomas. It was during the time I was just kind of busy for TV. I was doing the comic shop thing. Wasn't watching a lot of TV at the time. But it's certainly something I'd go back and check out. Let me make sure. Okay, so we're all caught up on that. Yeah, I can't wait to I wish I could have talked about episode 2, but I only saw like half of it. So I'll mix that in with next week's. Next week we will be back live right after it airs at about 7:15 Pacific. I don't know how many of you out there watched it. Yes, it's behind a paywall on HBO, but I will tell you it's worth the money. It absolutely is, especially with Game of Thrones coming out soon.
Yeah.
Briefly, that Watchmen footage.
Oh, fuck you, Lindelof. I swear to God, I hate that guy.
That Watchmen footage, man. Oh no. It made it real. It made it real. And I guess I was refusing to believe it. My mind was in denial. And then I saw it. And thank God the Game of Thrones footage dropped like right after it. And then it was like the pendulum swung, and Sansa said to Daenerys, "The castle is yours," or "Winterfell is yours," and I got chills. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Jeez.
So,
well, I mean, when Jon Snow bends the knee, what are you gonna?
Don't remind me of that. There's no way
he bent the knee, but she spread the knees. So that
she did.
That's
Honestly, he's a young kid. Yeah, he's a young kid.
What can I do? He's pretty hot.
There's no way he's bending the knee in the book if he becomes King of the North, which I don't think he's going to become. But yeah. By the way, I guess we could plug that. Doomcock's going to be joining me for Game of Thrones recap, so I'm really excited about that. That's going to be fun.
Yes,
it's going to be fun. So, you want to go ahead and plug yourself and tell us what's up next?
What is up next? Well, more videos. I am going to be savagely ravishing every single episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 2. I read something just this morning that made my head almost explode. I hope I survive. If I survive, then I will be addressing every single episode. And I will be live streaming the day after. I would live stream immediately after, but I'm going to be inarticulate with rage and of use to no one. So I'm going to need, a day to calm the F down and make my witness in terms of a regular video, and then do the live stream where I will probably rant and be profane.
It'll be
But
therapeutic.
yes, The Expanse is coming, and I am going to be championing that show to no end. I absolutely love The Expanse. People I have been told by my recommendations have found this show, and I want to continue. I'm planning on making season recaps just to help ease the way in for folks, to get back into season 4. So lots of wonderful things ahead in 2019.
Absolutely. We love The Expanse. Best sci-fi show on TV, period. And best show on TV? Yeah, it's up there. I mean,
Damn
like
near.
the Expanse, Legion, counterpart, they're, mix them up. I don't care. I hate it's like choosing between my kids, which I do all the time.
Exactly. And now True Detective.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and usually we cover genre here, and that's usually Doomcock does that too. Right. But we make an exception for greatness, and this is greatness. Adjacent culture, pound 99. Hail Gary, hail Doomcock hashtag without respect. We reject. Yes, that is a hashtag that you started, right?
That is a hashtag that I started. Absolutely. When in response to that EW crystal bullseye thing where it said in the center of it, it was Captain Marvel, and it said, eager geeks finally meet woman, which absolutely made me so effing mad that I could not fucking. I mean, if you listen to that video, you hear me absolutely slamming the magazine against the table and yelling. That's how angry I was.
I heard it. Yeah, because we've never met women before. It's new.
Isn't that the damnedest thing?
Mary Ashmead is not a real woman in our chat. And
or Ripley, or Sarah Connor,
Vixen,
or Princess fucking Leia. Sorry,
girls.
Yeah, they're pretty cool to do stuff with.
She said penis. Sorry, that's the only thing I got. It's terrible.
You boys need to stop whacking off in my shed.
What are women, says Salam? I don't know, but I heard they smell good. So we're going to leave it there. Please check out nerdrotic.com for our live schedule. I will be back on live in about a half an hour. I know it says 12, but I need a little moment to prepare for the Nerdrotic Nooner. So we'll say 12:30 start time. Doomcock, thank you again for joining me. Please subscribe to Overlord DVD. Also, you have a Patreon.
I do. It is patreon.com/Doomcock. We have a community of like-minded people, genre warriors, canon warriors, supporting Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, the whole gamut. And I got to say, hours and hours and hours of exclusive content there. And support levels start at $1 a month, where you get to be in the Doomcock Roundtable, where we live chat about everything. I mean, with voice stuff on Discord, and also a little party we throw every month where it's basically like a talent show and a party.
That's awesome. I love it. I went to one and I can't wait to go back.
We are doing one this month.
Awesome. All right. Super chats. Tamarox, Feisty Fan, It's Just Plain Joe Reviews, Thomas Potts, Brent Newman, Vixen of Vavavoom, Rolocat, Tamarox again, and Adjacent Culture. Thank you so much for the donations. They help keep the lights on around here. Everybody, you have a great day. Be good to each other. Subscribe to Doomcock, and may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao, everyone.
Bye-bye.